Welcome, class. This week's topic is Least Restrictive Environment, LRE. And what the Least Restrictive Environment is, it's the placement of students with special needs to the maximum extent possible in a general education class or classes while still receiving educational benefit. So there's various factors that we consider pertaining to what is the least restrictive environment, and case law provides us a good structure as to how to determine LRE. Rachel Holland versus the Sacramento Board of Education is an excellent case law that helps establish the structure to determine LRE. In this case, Rachel's parents wanted their child to be fully included in the general ed classes, whereas the school district wanted Rachel to be included half-time in the general ed class and half-time in a special education classroom. Rachel was an 11-year-old girl with retardation. She had an IQ of 44. And the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals found that Rachel should be fully included in the general ed classroom. And they provided 4 points to consider when determining LRE. And the first point is the child benefiting from the placement academically? So the academic benefit of the child for the placement. The second is the non-academic benefits, such as social skills. The third point is the effect that that placement has on the general education teacher and classroom. And the fourth point is the cost of the supplemental aids and services required to ensure that the student is receiving academic and social benefits in that placement. So those are the 4 points when you have a student and you're not sure what the least restrictive environment would be. Look at that structure and try to determine a decision. Is Greer versus Rome City School District, which was an 11th Circuit Court of Appeals decision in 1992. And in this decision, the court stated that before a school district can conclude that a handicapped child should be educated outside the regular education classroom, it must consider whether supplemental aids and services would permit satisfactory education in that placement, in the regular education placement. Parents said that the parents of this child said that the school district determined that the child's severe impairment justified placement in a self-contained special education classroom. The district argued that the cost of providing services in the classroom would be way too high, but the court sided with the parents and said that the schools had made no effort to modify the curriculum and provide accommodations, and said that the district couldn't refuse to serve the child in a general education because of the added costs of the supplemental aids and services. The court also said that the school district officials must share placement considerations with the child's parents at an IEP meeting before placement is determined, because in this case they had made a determination before the IEP meeting. If we go back to the Holland decision, remember cost was a factor. However, in the 4 factors of determining LRE, however, the cost needs to be excessively high, and it's very rarely, the court very rarely sides with school districts saying that the cost is excessively high. So in this case, from a pragmatic standpoint, Greer really does show that costs may be a factor from Holland, but the factor is such where like a one-on-one aid would not be considered excessively high, whereas in practice a one-on-one credentialed teacher is considered excessively high. Another big LRE case is Oberti versus the Board of Education, which was a 3rd Circuit in 1993. This decision mirrors in a lot of ways the Greer decision. In this case, it's about burden of proof. So it shifted the burden of proof from the parents to show that that a more segregated setting is not appropriate, from the school district having to demonstrate that a segregated setting is appropriate. And the presumption is that the general education classroom is the appropriate setting, and the school district must demonstrate, and the preponderance of evidence is placed on the shoulders of the district to show that a more segregated setting is required.